place we could probably start with is we're normally three. If you have been watching the other episodes, we normally do them when we are three of us. And for the last couple of episodes, guys have been asking, where is the other partner? So I'm going to allow Caleb to share with you the developments that have taken place.
So we had a combined about $2 million, Ken and I, but we lost a big chunk. Personally, I instantly lost what is the thing you want to start collecting.
Cars.
So we expect to see Ken.
I'll collect cars.
Car collection.
I'll collect cars. Yeah.
So that one you can have $1 million car
cars.
collection.
I can.
You don't mind?
I don't mind.
Vintage. It's just different forms of investment. Also like art, nasikianga art, but on the art side, I'm yet to exploit. It's only just saying, maybe if I look at a Mona Lisa, not in a bad way, not to attack any artist or anyone.
You just don't feel that.
I don't understand. Hey guys, welcome back to the Traders Show here at Financial Hub. Ken and I are excited to be back. We have been away for a while and we're going to talk about that in today's podcast. We didn't quit podcasting. We just took a short break to restructure a few things here and there, but here we are. Most of you have been following us. You've been asking us where's the podcast, what's happening, guys, and here we finally are. This last quarter of the year, you're going to see a lot of content from us in terms of podcasting. You'll see guests. We are trying to think of new ways of how we can bring that traders together. Not only just us. You've listened to many of our stories. We want to spread our wings to bring other people here together. So we'll talk about that and the future plans, but I'm back. I'm excited. Ken is excited, and we have a lot in store. We have a lot to talk about. Elections are coming up. A lot of things have been happening. We've been seeing all around the world, globally, locally. You're seeing what is happening with the Kenyan markets, and we'll talk about a few other things. So that's it from my end. It's just an introduction. I'll let Ken introduce, then we get right into the podcast.
So hello traders. Like Caleb has said, we are finally back to doing these episodes. A short hiatus, just a detour. You take some time off, refresh, come up with new ideas, think of new things that you can do, think about the future, and then you can come back and probably do something that is a little bit more interesting, or at least something more updated with the lessons that you've gathered as you are doing the other episodes. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be sharing with you guys more about entrepreneurship, trading, and generally what is interesting to us, including the world of politics nowadays, which is something that has sparked interest not only here, but I think across the world. I think about half of the world population is going to engage in an election this year. So there's a lot that is happening. Wars, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Hamas, Israel, Palestine, Israel, Iran, China, Taiwan, China, US. There's a lot going on in the world from a geopolitical perspective.
Interest rate cuts.
Interest rate cuts from world central banks, inflation coming back down. A lot is happening. But also markets are quiet, not very, very loud. We've seen markets moving higher. And we're going to talk about that and many other things that we are going to be discussing about. But I think the first place we could probably start with is we're normally three. If you have been watching the other episodes, we normally do them when we are three of us. And for the last couple of episodes, guys have been asking, where is the other partner? So I'm going to allow Caleb to share with you the developments that have taken place, and then we can probably move forward.
Yeah, so just to clear the air, it's only right. You guys are family. You've also been asking, where is Taras Slawi and where is he? So part of our restructuring why we also haven't been doing podcasts is because we had to deal with a few things here internally. So I won't say much, but just to say it publicly, officially now out there also, is that we parted ways with Taras, and now it's just Ken and I. So anything Financial Hub content related, anything to do with Forex here internally from Financial Hub is now mainly through Ken and I. So that's it for now. Other things, if they come up, we'll share with them later, but let me leave it at that for now.
Yep.
Yep. So other than that, how have markets been? In the last couple of months since we did our last episode, a lot has happened. There's a video I did of how I blew a $10,000 prop firm account with TFT. Give or take this year, just to say it out loud, a lot has happened, and we talked about this with the different prop firms. I think I've not done a straight video. It's good we start there with how our trading is going, because it's only right to share. We've always been transparent with our performance and all that. Since I started this year trading a prop firm account, both challenges and live combined, of about $950,000. Can you started with?
Around the same.
It's about $1 million.
Yeah.
So we had a combined about $2 million, Ken and I. And personally, also Ken, we lost a big chunk of this, not because of trading badly or losing or blowing accounts. We are very, very strict with our risk management, but we lost a big chunk. Personally, I instantly lost $700,000 due to prop firms being closed down. TFT, I don't think I really trust that prop firm now. Anytime. Did you get your account?
No.
I lost 300,000.
Are they still in business?
They're still running, but they're only funding small accounts. Yes, even Ken, we stopped following up with those ones. And our advice now, so let me finish first mentioning. So I had that one in TFT, I had $400,000 account. Instantly, I lost it. One was live and the other one was still in the second phase challenge, about to pass it. And I was waiting for payouts. Gone, okay? And that was it. 700,000 lost in a span of 2 months, okay? So that's another thing with prop firms, because with one of the accounts that was waiting for payouts and all that, I was waiting for my refund as well as the profits. I didn't get the refund, I didn't get the profits. Gone like that. I remember actually that one, I'd paid for an account where they were to give me 10% or 15% of my prop firm challenge profits.
Yeah.
So as to be given about
125%. I remember the value proposition. If you pass, you'll get 100% refund plus 25% extra.
Exactly.
Something of the sort.
It was actually 125% refund of my money and about 10% of my profit challenges. Profit. Yeah. So if I made, for example, $10,000, I was to get 10% of it, which was an extra $1,000. So usually when you're trading prop firms, unakuanga umejipanga, you've calculated this is the money I'm going to have just for them to instantly kill you. So instantly, Ken and I made a very quick decision. Accept your losses. It's just like trading. It was an investment you made. It wasn't in your control. It went against you. Of course, during that time, you'll be angry. Your emotions are heightened, all that. But what do? You adapt and move forward. So what did we do? We ended up now focusing also on the significant stable prop firms like FTMO. So I remember Ken and I decided, okay, let's stop going for the 50% off, 30% of those stories that they're telling you 125% refund, and we decided to go all in for the main accounts that are stable. Not only FTMO is stable, there are many others, but as an industry standard, FTMO is really at the center. They don't have percentages off, they don't have giveaways and all those things. Yep. Once in a while maybe, but they're very, very financially stable, and we decided to go all in. So I took more accounts there. We'll do videos on this on a different video, but that's what was really happening with our prop firm. So on the prop firm space, on the FTMOs, I'm still doing the challenges. We're still working. Ken also on FTMO. Yeah. We're still on challenges. We're still on challenges on the FTMO, and we'll do other videos to update you on this, to show you the backend, market analysis, what's going on, and all that. So, other than that, markets. How have markets been? Markets as we go into elections period.
Yep.
As we go into an environment where we're seeing a lot of interest rates being cut. Markets are all over the place. If you look at gold has come from, in the last 3 months, I don't know exactly, but I remember with the student we had who was losing a lot of money, we were around 2,400 the other day. Yeah. Now gold is on route to get to 2,700, maybe even if it goes higher, 3,000 is a big target. Many banks are looking at $3,000 per ounce. Okay, gold is at all-time highs. Look at the stock markets, all-time highs. The Dow, the Nasdaq, S&P 500, if you bet on the US economy, these markets are going up in an environment where interest rates were high and they're slowly starting to be cut down. So let Ken explain a bit on that. He's very good with the fundamentals, and then he'll get you up to speed.
Yeah, so like Caleb was saying, if you look at markets generally, what has been happening, when you look at markets, I tend to think that you need to pay attention to, one, the times that we're in. because the times that we are in shape ultimately the climate. So like you're saying, if you look at the fundamentals right now, interest rates are being cut. We're going towards an election, and there's a possibility of a war, or rather wars are erupting, especially in the Middle East, where we can see Iran bombing Israel, Israel vowing to retaliate. And you can see markets like gold pricing in most of those risks. So you can see gold moving from around 2,400, 2,500. Now we're going towards 2,700 with the possibility of us getting to 3,000. We got 50 basis points rate cut by the Feds about a month ago. Last month in September. So the question is, how many more cuts will we get this year? Markets are pricing in another 50 basis points. If we do that, we'll have gone down by a full percentage in less than 3 months.
Which is high.
Which is a very, very quick move down again. Just like we went up high, quickly, we might be going down that quickly. And if we go down that quickly, I think markets will ultimately go higher. I think if you look at stocks, what they've been doing, they've been moving higher quite significantly. If you look at the gold market, what's been doing, the dollar's been getting weaker significantly. You've seen the dollar coming back all the way to about 100. I think in the dollar index, we somehow clocked 100 about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Then we have somehow gone back up to around 102.5.
Yeah.
So I think one is the US election. There's a lot that will come out of that. Who wins? Trump or Kamala? Trump is very different from Kamala. I think one is a Democrat, another one obviously is a Republican. One is more of a businessman, another one has been always a politician. So they have very different, even if you look at the policies that they want to promote, Trump is looking to cut down taxes for billionaires. Kamala is looking to increase taxes for billionaires. So these guys have different policies, different ways of doing things or looking at the world or dealing with international problems. And I don't know who will win. But depending on who wins, markets may not change that much, especially in the short term. But I think what is likely to really, really change, and I think that's what markets are really watching, is the geopolitical landscape. Because Trump deals with Putin, deals with Kim Jong-un, deals with Xi Jinping in a very different way to what Kamala will do. So I tend to assume that depending on who wins, then the geopolitical landscape might take some different turns, and those turns are likely also to bring different changes in the market. So, I don't know, I don't think Trump will really favor what has been happening with Ukraine, these relief packages that they've been getting from there. I think
From Biden.
From Biden.
Yeah, Biden.
That's one thing that Trump has actually said, we won't be giving this guy as much money.
It's too much money.
It's too much money we're giving this guy for free. So those are the things that I feel like markets are really watching to see who will win. And after they win, how will they handle those situations? And then probably we'll see now prices take different turns. I think also another interesting market that people need to pay attention to is the oil market. There's a war. Interest rates are coming down. There's the possibility of a recession. And if you look at what is happening in the Middle East, with the tensions going on and the countries now beginning to somehow take stands, we might find oil wars also coming in, whereby instead of countries favoring production cuts, you find that countries are releasing as much barrels as they can. I remember 2 weeks ago I saw Saudi Arabia warning that if other countries would not oblige by the OPEC standards of how much fuel should be in the market, then they also can release a lot of oil in the market. And they know that if they release theirs, then they can take prices significantly down. So those are markets from a fundamental perspective. They keep changing all the time. It's a moving target. It's not something that is constant. It's something that keeps on changing. But I think those are the main things markets are watching right now.
Do you know the country with the highest oil reserves?
No. Is it Nigeria?
No.
US?
No. You'll be shocked.
Russia?
No. And not Saudi Arabia.
Iran?
No. Venezuela.
Really?
Highest oil reserves, 300 billion barrels. Saudi Arabia
they're
is
the
second.
poorest.
Saudi Arabia is the second largest with 297. So just generally.
Serious, Venezuela gonna that much oil?
Venezuela is top, number one.
300 billion
barrels. There was a short clip that was going through social media. There's this videos that shows like high celebrities with net worth. It goes climbing like this showing. So now I was watching this one for oil. I knew it was Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia came number 2. It's like, oh, there's another one. Then it went Venezuela. It's just management.
mismanagement of resources.
Running a country is like running a company. If you have bad leaders,
That's it.
you have bad resources, you'll just waste it. Either
Everything is gone.
Yeah.
That's so bad, eh?
Yeah, but anyway, continue.
Yeah, so I think I was done actually. I was just explaining how these are the fundamentals that are currently in shape in the markets.
Yeah, another thing to add on, I think we also answered this with our students. I remember they were asking, a lot of people get confused with fundamentals and trading. You get so confused. Long time also used to get confused. You don't know what fundamentals to pay attention to. Everything that comes out, PPI, CPI, interest rates, NFP, inflation numbers, unemployment, etc. Speeches from the banks, governors and all that. You want to pay attention to everything, and everything is just confusing you. So you become the analysis paralysis. You don't know what to do. So if you look at the interest rates and the environment right now, it's also important to pay attention to. Remember, and we always teach this in class, technicals is a representation of fundamentals. And actually, if you get deeper, what I normally tell my students, technicals is a representation of how people are reacting to the fundamentals. Okay? Markets will move up and down because people are buying and selling, not because fundamentals came out high interest. That means nothing. You get?
Yep.
But how people react to that information is what now depends on is what will factor or determine how the markets are going to move later on. So for a long time, we're seeing, and we talked about this in a different video, markets are at all-time highs. The stock markets, dollar has been dropping in an environment where it's high interest. Usually you want to see high interest markets, you see the dollar appreciating or whatever currency you're looking at appreciating, and you see the interest, things like the stock market more or less going down. Borrowing is hard and all that. So piecing that together, when interest rates are lower, the book way, what you're taught in the book, when interest rates are low, borrowing is cheap, people will borrow, invest in companies, and companies' economy is going to grow. You see the stock markets growing up and the dollar sort of being devalued. There are times you see that, like you remember COVID.
Yep.
COVID, we went into ZAP, zero interest rate policy. We went zero. And you see people are borrowing money. Actually, money is being given out for free, the stimulus checks. And people are investing heavily in cryptocurrency, stock markets. And that time we saw a very big comeback. If you actually look at it now, you'll see that correction it looks really small right now. But during that time, it was a big correction when stock markets went down, what?
Around 35%.
30%, which is huge, okay? But right now, you're seeing that. So sometimes it works like that. But for now, what Ken is saying, it's important for you to understand the environment and the times you're in. We saw markets going to all-time highs even before interest rates started being cut.
Yep.
Okay? Now, a lot of our students and other people generally were waiting for the interest rates to start cutting to start now buying the stock. Now, Ken always says this, markets are ahead of reality. It's ahead, okay, because we started hearing about interest rate cuts, 6 months ago?
Yep.
It was a long time ago. And if you look at the markets, that's when the dollar now started dropping and the stock market started shooting up. Okay, so it's ahead of reality. Before we actually get the cuts, okay, now when the cuts have come in, the dollar is going up.
Yep. Already, the move lower has already taken place.
The move lower has already taken place, and it could continue taking place. It's just that now the timing, okay, your timing of understanding fundamentals and trying to piece everything together perfectly, you'll always be on the wrong side. The people who are trading the billions of dollars know the textbooks you've read, and you'll always do the opposite of what they're doing because they only depend on you losing for them to make money.
Yep.
You're always on the wrong side. When millions lose, a few, the haves win, the have-nots lose more and more and more. Okay, so it's important to pay attention to that. Always think differently. Don't always just go, this is what I read in the book, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm going to trade. Try it. This is one of the most competitive markets one of the most competitive industries, careers you're ever going to be in. It won't be easy to make money. You won't come and read our Financial Hub book that you see behind here. For anyone who does not know, we wrote a book called A Template for Understanding the Forex Market. We have a whole chapter talking about fundamentals. But we also tell you, you need to learn how to think outside the box. And that's what now we teach you practically in class. That's what we do with my students, Ken does with his students, and just show them how to think around it. So,
here at Financial Hub, we offer the first 2 classes of our masterclass for free. In the first class, Introduction to Trading, you learn the initial overview of the concepts, principles, and practices involved in trading. In the second class, Fundamental Analysis, you learn the underlying factors driving supply and demand in the markets. You can get in touch with us by calling the number below or filling the form in the description box. Or you can visit our offices at Lavington Mall, Chandarana Building, 4th floor, office number 401.
So as we go into elections period, we are very, like Ken is saying, there's Trump, and I remember a student of mine saying Trump is trumping in. Kamala is hurrying out. So it's just different people with different opinions. We never know the outcome. I'm not God to know the future, but I'm not depending on one person to win for me to make a certain decision. You're looking at markets generally. Everyone has their pros, everyone has their cons. If Trump comes in, we're back on Twitter.
Exactly. Markets will be run through Twitter.
Markets will be run through Twitter. And now you have, I remember I was looking at the top 10 highest followed people on Twitter. Number 1 was Elon at 200 billion. Number 2 was Barack Obama.
At
130. He had been left by the 70 million margin.
By Elon?
Yeah.
Elon.
Did I say Elon? Elon's net worth is 200 billion. He has 200 million followers. This guy is just... You can see we have his book here. We are big fans. Anyway, what was I saying? And then Trump was coming in, I think number 3 or 4. He was top 5. Okay? So he has a big following. So
Trump has about 100 million.
It's more than 100. Yeah, it's around 100 and something. If I just search here on
Obama
Twitter.
is also that popular.
Yeah, Obama became popular that time. Plus now, he's not president, but still what he says for the Democrats.
It's very valid.
It's very...
The Obama effect.
The Obama effect. Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, not it. He's at 91. 91. You still have people like Cristiano, 130 something. Big guys. But anyway, anything Trump says, immediately we see it being reflected in the markets. And Trump is a big Twitter person. Even if you follow now what he's doing with the elections, most of the things he's heavy on social media, taking advantage of the times we're in. So anyway, we're waiting for this. The last time we saw elections, when Trump first became president, was the first time I started trading. You remember?
Yep.
It was late 2016. That's the time we started knowing about the Forex market. And I remember that time it was when he was going against Hillary
Clinton, yeah.
Hillary Clinton, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he ended up
winning
against Hillary. So maybe times are repeating itself.
Again, Kamala versus Trump. Yeah, Trump always competes with women. Other than Biden.
So, but anyway, those are elections and it is what it is. So it's important to follow the markets on a macro level. Understand what's going on. What Ken is saying, Saudi Arabia, if Trump comes in, how is he going to deal with people like Jinping, Russia? You remember Netanyahu, Israel, how is it, this Zelensky. Okay, UK are just changing prime ministers as if they're changing clothes. Trump is now going...
I was listening to an interview by Diary of a CEO for Boris Johnson. Go and watch it. It's also quite
Boris came on?
He's written a book.
After presidency?
Yeah, after presidency.
He's prime minister,
he's talking about how he rose to power, why he's a comical character like Trump. There's a lot in that episode. Did
he talk about how he came out of power?
How he came out of power, how he even became powerful, how he moved from not knowing anything. He hustled also.
Should be like Zelensky. Zelensky was a comedian.
Zelensky was a comedian. Now he's a politician, a master, a president.
Anyway, we've been reading macro stuff and political books with Ken, and we came to notice one thing. What you're seeing happening in Kenya, I don't think it's only us what we're experiencing. These things happen. Read history, not even what is going on now. Read history. You'll come and see. There's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing.
There's nothing new. These things, even those guys who are leading us, they know this. Will just get through this, and I don't want to get deep about it because I might raise some emotions with people here with what is happening. Let's wait and see with how it's the outcome.
Let's see the outcomes first
of our local elections here.
Yeah.
We personally don't trade the local markets. Kenya shilling, you already know it's not traded in the CFD.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
not
global
a
market.
floated currency.
Yeah, it's not a floated currency, so we can't trade it. So as much as we have our opinions, we don't practice our opinions in the market.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's what's happening globally. We're excited to see the outcome. When is the elections? November
9th, I think, or 4th. No, 4th is
November
Independence
9th.
Day.
But I believe the US elections is the biggest election that affects markets globally.
Yeah.
All markets. Crypto, stock markets, all markets.
Crypto is also quite interesting. I've been seeing Bitcoin is struggling to go above 70,000.
It's really been consolidating.
I'm also learning about this new thing called tokenization. Have you ever heard of it?
This guy mentioned, what's his name? Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold mentioned about it kidogo, but I don't know much.
Yeah, it's the future of the stock market.
Stock or crypto?
No, stock.
Tokenization.
Yeah, tokenization is like somehow moving much of the assets that we have into the digital world through the blockchain technology. And apparently, Ethereum's technology is the one that is behind much of the tokenization.
The smart contract.
The smart contracts.
And Solana.
So those are very, very powerful cryptos that you should really hold if you're thinking of...
What do you think will happen to crypto during this election period? Do you think Bitcoin will follow suit on gold?
Yeah. I think there's a high chance Bitcoin could get to 100,000 before next... not before end of year, but before the next bearish cycle.
Or before we start going down?
Before we start going down. But on the timing, I don't know. But I find the top, 70, it's 100K is where I'd look for a top. And probably a correction to back to 20K again. We can buy at 20. And markets can probably now go to 150 or 200. But I don't see, anyway, it's speculation. So sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't see how we won't bypass. I don't see how we will bypass 100 on the top if you're going on the top. And that would be my level, 100K.
Realistic approach.
Yeah.
That's like, right now we're at 60 something.
So
it's almost,
30,
if it doubles,
40, yeah,
more or less, from where we are. And call it a top.
Then you can come back down to 20 and you can buy.
Buy low.
Yeah, don't buy now.
Now it's just speculation.
Now it's speculation. Now if you didn't buy long time ago,
speculate and buy at low prices.
Exactly. Wait for it. It will come back. That's the beauty of markets. And that's why I was actually saying as I was watching those things, this is very interesting, because what it tells me is you should just aim to buy most of these things and hold for long.
Yeah, long term. Don't speculate every day.
Yeah, buy it and forget about it. Hold it for 10 years. You'll come back. If we bought Ethereum at 2,500, one Ethereum is 25,000 shillings or 30,000. And the people wonder how did you do it? But it's just a question of buying and holding. But I'm now more interested in understanding, that whole process of, you see the way you're saying, like, doing meaningful things of the future. Such things now, I feel like.
Pay attention.
Pay attention to such trends.
AI.
There's something that AI, those are important things that are working. You can innovate around it. And I think there are more valuable things that are going to come out of that on the tokenization side.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, also Elon Musk, top billionaire, 300 billion. Zuckerberg. No, sorry, 200 billion.
100 billion
but
extra.
He reached 300 billion. The time was at 300 B.
He's ever gotten to 300 billion.
Top, yeah.
Who will be the first trillionaire?
Elon.
I can't wait to see.
Elon.
First trillionaire.
Elon.
First trillionaire.
Either Elon.
I don't think it will happen while he's alive.
Elon, Jensen, or Zuckerberg.
It's
for the first time in a very long time.
I don't think it's
Bill Gates dropped to below 10.
Below number 10?
He was ranked 13.
What is happening to Bill?
It's part of life.
Plus, who are these who are above Bill?
Tech guys. Remember, he has very little stake in tech.
This one's now Akina Larry Page, Sergey Brin, those guys. Their stocks are going up. Akina Jensen Wang. Jensen is above Bill Gates.
Let me show you.
Well, it's only for a short while.
So if you go to Bloomberg's Billionaire Index,
in fact, that is a red flag. You should now be shorting stocks.
Bill Gates is back to number 6. But there was a time he had spiked a little bit down because Larry Page is following him at 150. He's at 160. Larry Ellison.
Bill is at 160.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk 240 billion.
240.
Jeff Bezos.
Markets are
212.
high.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Those valuations are not good.
Markets are at all-time highs.
These valuations are not so good.
That's why you're seeing that.
Stocks.
And the late Tata died anyway. So yeah.
That's a lot of money. Like Elon has 240 billion.
240 billion.
Zuckerberg is number 2.
If he spends $1 million a day, he'll have spent 365 million in a year.
Only. Not even $1 billion.
That's not even 1% of his net worth.
Wow. Wow.
$1 million.
Wow.
In Kenya shillings, you're spending 130 million every day. Enjoy.
You wake up early in the morning.
I don't invest, enjoy.
How will you enjoy $1 million?
See, that's what I'm saying. It's too much. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot.
You can't waste that. Even if you're wasting, what will you do? You'll buy properties. You'll buy highly elevated properties.
On a personal level, when we become millionaires, let's talk of millionaires, dollar millionaires, which you guys will watch us become soon. What in your mind you can share with people because they'll keep following you. What is the thing you want to start collecting?
Cars.
So we expect to see Ken.
I'll collect cars.
Car collection.
I'll collect cars. Yeah.
So that one you can have $1 million car
cars.
collection.
I can.
You don't mind?
I don't mind.
Vintage. Recent.
Cool. New. Hey, I'll collect. Those ones I can collect.
Magari.
I know I can collect cars. I didn't just have fun looking at them. When I wake up, I just go to my garage and feel, I made it. You realize, I'm having fun. I feel like there's that question that, there's this show that I normally watch called Big Shot. Remember, I introduced you to it.
Oh yeah, those boys.
They interview Jewish entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So they normally
interview Jewish entrepreneurs.
Only.
Oh, serious?
The only one you see
that's
there
the
is
niche.
Jewish. Jewish entrepreneurs or billionaires mostly. So there's one question they normally ask them: When did you feel like you made it? Like at what moment? So guys say different things. Like there's this guy who said when he was young, he used to be taken by his dad to see yachts. The owner of Twin Towers, the one that was bombed.
The one for 9/11.
Yeah, the one for 9/11. The owner of that building.
It was what, Global Trade Center?
Yeah, it's called Larry Silverstein.
Or World Trade Center.
So he used to be taken to boat shows. So he said the day he bought himself a yacht, I knew he made it. He was like, now I've made it. Now I've made it. The one for Aldo, the founder of Aldo Shoes.
Aldo, yeah.
He's called Aldo. He said when he was finally able to buy a jet, he knew now. Sasa nimesonga kweli. I've entered in the other side. Me I'd collect cars. What will you do? Or you don't know?
I know.
You buy clothes, designer clothes.
A designer clothes zinaweza chomeka. Nikipatia mtu apige pasi zinapotea. Nikupotezea pesa. Watches.
Watches also a thing.
Watches. Uko AP.
You collect watches worth cars.
Yes, worth cars. Yes, exactly. I was seeing Jay-Z's collection the other day. Jay-Z ako on another level. $5 million Patek Philippe.
Watches.
5 million. And I went and spent 600 million Kenya shillings to buy a watch.
Wow.
Missing politics. Ndo mnieke huko sije. Look at this politician spending. It's my money. Let me spend my money first. Msiniekele from the market. So watches, that one I must.
I think also houses. You have realized also I'd love to own homes.
Globally, locally?
Globally. Like I'd have a house maybe. If I'm super rich, Like I'd have a house on
Not
the shores.
if, when.
And the shores
And I'm
of
super rich.
New Zealand on the shores. Naweza kuwa na manyumba zingine kwa island mnashanga. Pesa naweza collect. Can collect houses. Or I'll collect houses.
Yeah.
Houses and cars maybe.
Yeah, because on watches, like you're saying, it's like investing in evil. It's just different forms of investment. Also like art, nasikianga art, but on art side, I'm yet to exploit. It's only just saying, maybe
Also
if I look at a Mona Lisa, not in a bad way, I don't, not to attack any artist or anyone.
You just don't feel that.
I don't understand, not so I can't feel anything. So I need to exploit more. You get my point? But like with watches, I've done a few research here. You're seeing here Kagod, Richard Mille, Patek Philippe. I'm not a big fan of Jacob & Co. I find them too extravagant. It's too big. Anyway, those ones sooner or later, and then yeah. So like you said, cars. I'm also
cars, houses, and wine.
Wine.
And also have a $1,000 bottle of wine. Naipata kwangu. Wambeli tu asijui wapi huko. Also collect wine by that. Collect wines. I think that's like, I feel like that would be the novel thing that I'd have. Like cars are like, but wine.
Most expensive wine in the world. It costs $558,000.
Such things.
Udaikunywa. Jukikunywa inaisha. You're doing a depreciate.
Only take a dot. Or something. But I'd collect wines also. Have you ever seen like houses where...
So now when you start getting money, if you want to start having fun, nikupelekange wine tasting. Start lining, we go to car shows.
Car shows, break bread.
You break bread. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Okay. But that's on a personal level. It's good for you guys also to know. Also, you write down your goals, work towards. I remember for a long time, we used to write down these things with Ken. Write it down. Let the world know. It won't harm. Even if you don't get it,
nothing will happen.
You had a dream. Even
be audacious. Be audacious. Elon said here, let me read for you. I'll never forget these lines. To anyone I've offended, I just want to say, I reinvented electric cars and I'm sending people to Mars in a rocket ship. Did you think I was also going to be a chill, normal dude? Did you think? Not really. So make sure you're audacious. Be audacious.
Yeah,
strive to do those things.
To 2025. Give yourself 5 years. I was telling some of my students last year, next year you need to make money. It's not always just saying I'm a Forex trader. I trade Forex. I know Forex. Millions. Someone opens a chat to say, oh, you also do Forex? Actually, just keep quiet. Don't even say, work under the radar, build yourself up. Sooner or later, people are going to know. But for now, just build it from the ground up. And that's what we do. Stay humble, work on yourself, leave alone social media, don't let it confuse you. In today's world, people focus on that and you tend to become depressed. Depressed because Caleb and Ken have an office. We've been trading for 8 years.
You're depressed for nothing.
Don't be depressed. It's a journey. We took 5 years before I knew what backtesting is. In our videos, we teach you that. In our class, we teach you in the first 2 months. So we're shortening your learning curve and helping you improve at the end of the day. So don't compare yourself with everyone. Everyone has their own journey. Yep. Walk your own path. Trade your own path. Create your own path. Some of you have to balance work and trading. Some of you have to balance school with trading. Some people are even just trading full-time. They don't have to balance anywhere. Everyone has their own journey. So don't compare yourself with other people and all that. Sooner or later, I remember I asked my students, about 12 of them, yesterday in class, how many are going to not give up in trading? Are we in this together to the end? All of them said yes. I can guarantee you, I know, statistically.
Majority will give up.
A majority, 1 or 2, and not to be pessimistic, okay? It's just that
we're being realistic.
We're being realistic. If more turns out, let that surprise me in future. But for now, we know they're realistic. But at the end of the day, it's not to say that we don't help. We have a whole community that we've launched to the public people where we want to help all of you understand the Forex market, make money in the Forex market, understand prop firms. We have a course coming very soon, which will be fully online for the prop firm, which will release it very soon this month. So pay attention to our announcements and all that. Our work here is to help you improve, help the industry grow. We can't grow alone. The sooner or later when we have a hedge fund, which we will have, we're going to have to hire people, employ people. So we can only start by educating the masses, then coming up to that. So I think it's a good comeback. Expect us more.
Yep.
Expect more podcasts. We are back, reignited, and ready to take the world. Hopefully even wait for us to go international. You start recording people from different parts of the world. South Africa, Nigeria, Egypt, Tanzania, Uganda. Where am I going too far? And our goal is to get to Dubai as well.
Many more.
Many traders are concentrated in Dubai. So, anything else from your end?
Not really.
Cool.
Be audacious, guys, and do what Caleb said. Be audacious and focus on your journey.
Your own journey.
Everything else is a distraction. Everything else is a distraction.
Everything
else is a distraction.
Good. So yeah, so we're happy to be back. Like Kenna said, focus on you, do your own thing, and listen to us more. We can give you hope. Honestly speaking, and reignite that fire that is inside you. Sometimes you feel like giving up. We've been there. No, we've never been there. Stuff. All the time. There are times you have bad days.
Bad days.
Even bad
not
man.
Quitting. Quitting is not an option.
Yeah, quitting has never been an option. We quit school not to quit everything.
At least clear something.
Finish something to the end. Focus. Die with it. I normally get people long time, not right now. When we were trading after like 4 years, 5 years, people used to text me like, bado unafanya ile kitu.
Ile kitu yako.
Ile kitu yako ile online. Still doing it. These days no one asks those things. Now they just know Caleb does Forex.
Anafanya kitu yake.
It's not a matter of do you still do it. They know he's doing it. And he's tunaenda tukigrow. So also you guys do your thing chini ya maji and grow slowly. Okay? So that's it from my end. Expect us more. More guests will be coming. You'll see Ken and I. This is proof of the podcast still being there and us still working to make it a success. So that's it from us. Like we always say, stay woke, stay financially literate. I'll see you guys on the other side.